I am Dr. Saira.
And I'm Texas Peek.
And our question today is one that a lot of people ask us.
Yeah, this is probably within the first 2 or 3 minutes of sitting, especially in a one-on-one with somebody, this is usually what comes up.
Here it is. I feel like I don't know who I am. Can you help me?
Wow.
Have you had that feeling like you don't know who you are?
Or you feel like you're not, there's a piece of you, perhaps, that feels like it's right. But then there's a lot of you that just feels like it's just kind of going through the motions.
Or you feel like yourself in certain moments or in certain environments.
Right.
But then other times it's like, I don't even know who I am.
Right. And it happens a lot when people enter into a stressful situation, which is usually when people come and see us, right? There's something that's happened in their life and they don't know how to navigate it anymore because they don't know what they don't even know what they want as an outcome.
So for people who don't know us, we're clinical faculty at the Expansion Project, and we teach advanced consciousness therapy, which is a new therapeutic modality that merges energy and psychology. We're recognizing that the system is broken. What's out there in mental health and wellness isn't actually helping people. And so we needed to find a new way that addresses the whole person,
right,
and brings in some of these traditions that have been around for human history, but haven't really made their way yet into mainstream psychology. And so finding a way to balance
right,
these different healing modalities, and in a way that anybody who already has some sort of a practice as a helping professional could learn.
Right. And so what we're saying is there's a lot more wisdom inherent in the human.
Right. And that your answers are actually within you,
not
and
with
not
me
with
or
the
you.
expert.
Yeah.
With, some expert. So when you feel like you don't know who you are.
One of the first things we want to talk about really briefly with that is that this thing that we talk about, that you have sovereign agency over your being. And I think we've given that away. And I think that in all parts of our physicality, but especially in the mental health part, right? Maybe you can speak to that because you have more experience on that lens, right?
With what is sovereign agency, for those who might not know, it's the innate right to make decisions for your own life. And in the mainstream healthcare system, the way the system is structured is that you don't actually have a lot of power, and you don't have a lot of knowledge or access to things that are going to help you directly, which is very different than how traditional societies have lived, right? We've in traditional societies, there would be maybe a healer or somebody who had some sort of a knowledge of the herbs that might help you, or the poultices or different healing methods, and you would approach that healer. But it's an exchange where the healer is just activating your own capacity for healing. And people understood that I have the capacity to heal, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, whatever the healing, and this person's facilitating that healing, right? Whereas the way that we see things now is more, I'm broken, and I'm going to go somewhere and that person's going to fix me. And what that does is then that takes away all of my power as the client or the patient. I'm putting all of my power into that expert to know what's wrong with me, to do all the tests and find out what's wrong with me, and then give me a solution.
Check all the boxes, yeah.
And people, in emergency situations, in crisis situations, we love the Western medical model because it's really good at managing emergencies. But for our day-to-day well-being and ongoing, preventative, we're not really good at that.
Right. And so that comes back to that question of, who am I? Right. And so if we can peel back the layers of who we're not, we will find out who we are.
So who are we not?
We are not a construct of the mind. Right. So the mind is really good at remembering and forecasting.
Which is not, again, how Western society was founded, on this idea that I think, therefore I am.
Right. So, but
we've put so much priority on the thinking and the thoughts and the mind.
But we all have had those experiences where we know something that we shouldn't know. We can't know, but I know it. Right. And we've really downplayed that. So what we've done is in a very, very predictable model, we're teaching people to come back to that inner knowing, back to that deep part of who you are. And it surprises people.
It surprises people when they start getting these some people call it like a download or a hit or a gut feeling, right?
Right.
They just kind of know what's their next right step in
Right.
whatever area of their life, whether it's work, whether it's relationships, whether it's their, looking after your health, whatever it is. It's like we get this insight and this clarity, and we all have access to that, not just the people who have some, really rigorous spiritual practice. And so then they get access to it. It's like any normal person who can breathe, because it's just a breath, really, right. The protocol. So the presence protocol is what we teach. And if you want to learn more about that, check out the book called The How. Yeah. It's available on Amazon. And you can learn about the presence protocol. And that's a very simple somatic emotional release tool that'll help you kind of observe what's there, allow it, release it, and then make space for that intuitive guidance and that clarity that's available to all of us. So who are you is not all of the layers of restriction, right? That's a lifetime of training. It's not this broken thing that needs fixing. Right. It's something else.
And what we also see a lot of is that I'm going to say this is going to sound a little bit weird, but the you that's you,
the capital Y,
right,
you
knows where you started these pieces.
Where the turn happened.
Right. And so when you start to do this work, you don't have to go through all of those experiences. I really hate
ad nauseum. Yeah. Well, and again, that's another I think mistake in mainstream therapy is we've kind of set it up so that you have to kind of identify all the traumas and then somehow heal all the traumas. And then there's always another trauma that you forgot about, or now there's an intergenerational trauma that you don't even have a memory of, or maybe there's a collective trauma. Right. Like it's just too much. And so with the way that we're approaching healing is that there's only two states, as we said in other videos, right? There's alignment and misalignment. And if we can teach you to be in alignment more often than misalignment,
you will find your way.
Your answers will come. Mm-hmm. And that's, who am I? That's who I am. That voice, that still soft voice inside that speaks, actually often whispers, that's who we are. And we can help you. So the question about, can you help me?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And you can help you.
Yeah, all we're going to do is help you to
point you back to your own way of knowing.
Because you already know. So if that resonates with you, check out the book.
Join our newsletter.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube and Instagram. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.